shit. That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Welcome to the Art of Awesome. Welcome back, everyone, to the Art of Awesome. I am your host, Nick Troutman, and this is the show where we look for that secret sauce to success. Today is Friday, so you guys know what that means. We've got our little tip of the day, thought of the day, but not only is it Friday, today is actually January 1st. Brand new year, 2021, and today I want to talk to you guys about setting New Year's resolutions, setting goals, and just kind of the thought process behind how we can all move into 2021 and make it the best year ever, especially being that some of you guys, didn't really enjoy 2020. We had some hard times for sure. COVID kind of sucked a little bit, put a bit of a damper on everything. But honestly, for me, I try to always look at the bright side of things, look for those silver linings. And I finished 2020 and still thought it was a great year. So you guys might be writing down some New Year's resolutions for 2021. And I think that's great. I am a huge fan and believer in goal setting and writing them down, as that makes them way more likely for you guys to achieve your goals and also more likely to keep you guys on track. If you guys haven't heard the podcast on goal setting, I think it's actually episode 1, maybe. 1 or 2, somewhere in there. Go back and check it out. It's all about reverse goal setting. Super cool idea behind that. But today I've got 2 different ideas for you guys as we're moving into 2021 and writing our New Year's resolutions. One of them actually came from Tim Ferriss, the extremely popular author and writer of the 4-Hour Workweek, 4-Hour Body, and anyway, he's written a whole bunch of other ones, Tribe of Titans. Anyway, great author. Go check out him. He's got a whole bunch of awesome books. But he came up with this idea called a past year review, which I think is super cool. This is something that I've been doing, and I'd love to share it with you guys and see if it's something that might help you along the way too. So take a piece of paper, write a line down it, and put positive on one side, negative on the other. Then go through your year and write down the things that brought positive emotion to your life. It could be anything that, brought happiness, joy, excitement, any of that kind of stuff. That you put that on your positive column. Then you go through your negative column and think down things that brought negative emotions, maybe things that were unpleasant for you, that you did not enjoy, and that you want to try to avoid for the next year. Once you've got your positive and your negative emotion columns, you're going to erase the negative title and you're going to write down 2021 not to-do list. So everything on that list that was negative, you are going to actively look at that, and that's going to be your not to-do list for 2021 because it brings negative emotion. Then when you go on to your positive emotion column, you're going to look through everything on your list and you're going to find the top 20% of things that brought you the most joy, the most happiness, the most growth, any of that kind of stuff. Because we know the 80-20 rule, and if you're unfamiliar with the 80-20 rule, I'll put another link to that podcast in the show notes as well. But the 80-20 rule, we don't have to go too deep into it, but essentially 20% of everything brings 80% of the results. So what we're going to do is we're going to look through your positive list, and you're going to find the top 20 most important things that brought the most joy, the most excitement, the most growth, the best of the best, essentially is what we're looking for on your positive column. So with that, we've got now 2 lists. You've got your what not to do for 2020, and you've got your to do for 2020. One is going to bring you joy and excitement, and the other one is, going to prevent you from any negative emotion by not doing that. So right there, we've got our past year review. And with that, we've got some great insight on how we can make 2021 our best year ever. But we're not going to stop there. The next thing that I would like to talk to you guys about, or at least share an idea of something that I'm personally trying to implement, is the 12-week year. So this concept came from the book called The 12-Week Year. And it essentially breaks your year up into quarters. So we're probably all pretty familiar with the fact that there's, 4 quarters within a year. This is implemented a lot in business and stuff like that, where they talk about, trying to get profits up to whatever X amount on Q1 or Q2, different things like that. But what we can do is by ourselves breaking the year up into quarters and really just focusing on 12 weeks, we can set a New Year's resolution for the next 12 weeks that will, one, force us to take action, because regularly when we make a New Year's resolution, we feel like, oh, we've got all the time in the world, we can put that off. I've got 365 days to turn this goal into fruition. But by forcing yourselves into a 12-week year or into a quarter, you're forcing that action. You don't have that time to delay. You don't have that time to put it off till tomorrow, next week, next month. You have to do it now. So maybe your goals might be a little bit more toned down, but it's going to force you into action to complete those goals. So that's one great aspect of the 12-week year. The next great aspect of the 12-week year is the fact that we can build on momentum. So one, by taking action, we are able to build momentum. We're able to take more action. For instance, your goal is to lose 5 pounds, okay? With the 12-week year, you might need to set action in place that maybe we've got to work out at least once every day instead of, maybe twice a week or something like that. So by forcing every day as if it's a week and every week as if it's a month, it forces this action upon us. But then by forcing the action, you're building that momentum. So when you start working out every day, you're therefore likely to want to eat more healthy. And then by eating more healthy and working out, you're going to see your weight loss goals achieve and turn into fruition a lot quicker. So you're building momentum on top of itself in a rapid progression. But on top of that, maybe, have you ever had a year that is just kind of like fallen apart? People might be thinking back, 2020, we just had a year like that. So in a situation like that, where there's maybe a global pandemic, there's, elections, there's all sorts of different things, civil unrest, a lot of things can happen that maybe, throw us off our game, throw us off of our goal setting, throw us off of our New Year's resolution. Well, with the 12-week year, for any time you've got that where you start having momentum in the opposite direction, maybe negative momentum that's kind of pushing you further and further away from your goals, well, with the 12-week year, guess what? It's over at 12 weeks. You can start fresh. You can wipe the slate clean, set a new set of goals, set a new set of resolutions, set a new path of action for completing your goals. And it just gets on those negative momentum cycles. You can just wipe that slate clean and start anew. So it has this awesome ability to build off momentum. It has an awesome ability to stop negative momentum in its tracks instead of having to wait in a normal year, you'd think like, I've got to wait all the way back till January because I failed on one of my resolutions. I failed on one of my goals back in February. I mean, we've all probably done that before. So instead of doing that, we've got 12 weeks where we've got a 12-week cycle to, one, be more effective, take more action, get more done, and then two, we can build on that momentum. We can wipe clean if things start to go bad and start fresh, start anew. So guys, those are two of the things that I will be implementing myself for 2021. And they're just something that I really wanted to share with you guys, as I'm, again, a big fan of goal setting, a big fan of writing New Year's resolutions. And this is just something that I've already started for 2021, and I'd love to help share it with you guys. So one, let me know if this actually helps you guys. Send me a DM, and please, if you're getting value out of these episodes, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, as that really just helps our ratings, which therefore gets us out into a broader audience and just kind of really helps share the message out with a greater community, which is the whole point of this podcast, is to kind of just help share and give back to the community as much as possible. So if you guys could do that for me, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I also hope that you guys have enjoyed all of the previous episodes in 2020. It was a really fun year for me, a great way to kick this whole thing off. And I personally really appreciated all the messages that you guys did send me. So thank you for that. And I'm going to end us off with a quote here by David Bowie. And it says, "I don't know where I'm going from here, but I promise it won't be boring." And I can tell you one thing, That's my mindset going into 2021. And that's what I'd love to share with you guys and inspire and encourage you guys as well as we're moving into 2021. Let's have an awesome year filled with excitement, filled with joy, filled with happiness, filled with love, and a lot of adventure along the way. So thank you guys so very much for listening. I'm Nick Troutman signing off, wishing you all an awesome day and a happy new year. Cheers.